It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage the presenter of our first award, Deb Washler from Lincoln Financial.
We're going to keep the Lincoln theme going for the evening. So welcome everybody, good evening. And I'm going to watch you guys all eat as the food starts coming out. So I hope you have some sympathy as I watch that. But good evening. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. And I will say too, I'm also honored every day that I get to go to work with women like Nancy and like Allison and many other folks who we have spread out here tonight. But tonight I get to present the Ian Rolland Courageous Leadership Award, an award that can everybody hear me? I feel like I'm kind of low. All right. There is a lot of talking. Marshall would like you all to stop talking.
He told us to start talking.
All right, so this award acknowledges Ian's unwavering support and advocacy of all individuals to be treated equitably and with dignity. This celebrates his love and passion for the Fort Wayne community, to always strive to be better and to lead by example. Lincoln Financial Group has a long history in Fort Wayne, and we are proud of the contributions our employees and company have made to positively impact Fort Wayne and the community. We are also proud of the contributions our employees have made, as well as many that many that Ian Rolland have made. Ian is truly a legend in the insurance industry. He is widely credited with building Lincoln from $6 billion in assets to $88 billion. He is the father of the variable annuity product, which Nancy is now heading up, and this now cares for $126 billion in annuity customer assets. In our community, his impact is still serving many individuals and families today. In the summer of 1964, Ian and Mimi Rolland dedicated their time and sweat to renovate the Turner Chapel of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, located a few blocks from the Methodist church they attended. The couple would go on to begin several other programs with the organization, including a nursery, which became the first Head Start program in Fort Wayne and in the state of Indiana. Also a housing improvement project that would lead to a nationally recognized housing effort. Ian Rolland continued his support of the organization for many years to serve the east side of downtown Fort Wayne and its surrounding neighborhoods. This was the formation of East Wayne Street Center, which continues to serve over 1,500 families today. In the 1980s, Ian was with the Parents for Quality Education with Integration Committee, led the charge to integrate the Fort Wayne Community Schools, specifically the elementary schools. Although the schools had been desegregated legislatively, they suffered from de facto desegregation. Our community labored for years in trying to address this racial imbalance. By 1984, the U.S. Department of Education found that 22 of 36 elementary schools were still severely imbalanced. This was a 3-year court battle, which Ian oversaw, garnering national attention. The most far-reaching aspect of this 1989 settlement to integrate was the paving of school choice that so many families enjoy today. In Ian's book, Ian Rolland, With a Bias Toward Action, which is here tonight. If you guys have interest, there are copies available. He says the following: I saw that a segment of the population wasn't getting a fair shake. It wasn't rocket science to see bias was built into the systems and society. It just wasn't right, and that was really the impetus for a lot of things that I did going forward. It's that legacy of courage and integrity that we celebrate today. Ian Rolland has many contributions to education in Fort Wayne. His support of junior achievement, Fort Wayne Community Study Connection program, and support of our host tonight, the University of St. Francis. There are many more that could be mentioned. However, we are here to honor an individual in our community with the Ian Rolland Courageous Leadership Award. Tonight, we honor Marshall White. Marshall is the CEO and founder of Unity Performing Arts Foundation and director and life coach for the Voices of Unity Choir. I've had the pleasure of meeting with Marshall on several occasions, as well as hearing Voices of Unity Youth Choir perform, and both are memorable experiences. There's a contagious energy around the work of Marshall, and when you speak with him, you can hear that. I'm also going to read a tribute that has been written by Larry Lee from Lepoxy Plastics Incorporated. So this is his words. Marshall, congratulations on being honored by the young leaders of Northeast Indiana with this year's Ian Rolland's Courageous Leader Award. Richly deserved. You have devoted your adult life to educating and empowering youngsters in our area, especially those who need your guidance the most. Your gift and your legacy is your Unity Performing Arts Foundation, 17 years old and growing stronger every year. You are the only concert producer and artistic director your Voices of Unity Youth Choir have ever known. It has reached the pinnacle in an international competition in the soulful and gospel genre. Almost incredibly, out of 60 members, only a few join your choir with above-average singing talent. And maybe one or two each year display exceptional voices, yet year after year, you make the whole so much superior to the sum of the parts. You are indeed a choir instructing and choir directing wizard. But Marshall, as great as this magical touch may be, it pales in significance to your contribution as a builder of character within young people. The majority of your singers, dancers, and creative writers are black, from single-parent homes, living in poverty. For many of these, despair had dulled any value of work ethic or formal education. When they joined Unity Performing Arts Foundation, so many were at a fork in the road, with the more appealing path leading to a life of self-destruction on the streets. To a few every year, you are literally the court of last resort, the hero to whom overwhelmed, distraught mothers bring their sullen, disrespectful, rebellious young sons and daughters. These mothers beg you, please, Marshall, take my child under your care and guidance. There is no strong adult male role model in his or her life. Save him or her from the streets. And Marshall, you accept them all. No one is turned away. Not all stay, because not all can live by your strict rules and tough love. But those who do stay in your programs learn core values and human virtues that will shape the rest of their lives. In many years of those turning 19 and graduating from your Unity Performing Arts Foundation programs, every single one goes on to a 2-year vocational college or 4-year university. They succeed at that level and move on to positive, productive lives. How many young lives have you changed permanently for the better? How many young lives have you saved? You are the empowerer, the builder of character, the force of good and virtue, the difference maker. Indeed, you are the courageous leader. You are like the namesake of the honor you are receiving tonight, Ian Rolland. You are also like the faithful financial angel and patron saint of Unity Performing Arts Foundation for all 17 years, Chuck Surak. You are like these two lions and legends of leadership in that there is no end, and there will be no end to the good you have done. No end to the good you have done, not only for the hundreds of young people whose lives you have touched so directly and significantly, but in so doing also for the entire Fort Wayne community. Congratulations, Marshall. Well done. Please come up.
What so proudly hailed at the twilight's light gleaming, whose bright shrines and bright stars through the perilous fight.
There's only one Marshall White in the world, and we're very fortunate to have Marshall White in Fort Wayne in Northeast Indiana.
To me, what I believe makes Mr. White special is his pursuit of excellence and his passion for youth.
Mr. White is the kind of person that really cares about how the world is and how the world's gonna end up. He has foresight into the future.
There's no one in the United States that's done what Marshall has done, and With his passion, his dream, and his drive, he can take these young folks to some amazing, amazing places.
I want to give kids what I didn't get, because when I was coming up, I did not have the opportunity to take lessons. I did not have a piano when I was growing up. I did not have the training and development that I needed as a kid. So that's one of the reasons why Unity Performing Arts exists today. We take young people from the ages of 7 to 19 and we expose them to empowering programming and artistic programming that changes their lives, shapes their lives, gives them purpose, gives them direction, and basically gets them ahead of the game of life and adult life. So our whole goal is to get kids who have raw talent, raw nothing, and develop that into something. It's like a potter, he takes this clay that has no shape, has no idea, no concept, and then voila, you have this. And that's how Unity is. In 6 months, we planned a trip to China. And the youngest kid was 8 years old that went with us. We raised $470,000 within 4 months. We took 101 people to China, 2 planes, 2 different days they left. And they won grand champions in their category and 2 gold medals in pop and in gospel music. You have to have the will, the desire, and then you have to have faith. Go for it. Take the risk. And so what we've helped our kids understand is that when you pursue excellence, and our standard is excellence and nothing less, then anything can be achieved.
Marshall, I'm just so proud of you. Every day you continue to impress me, you inspire me, and I wish you the best and congratulate you for such an incredible award that you justly deserve.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
Have you ever seen a tall black male cry? Wow. I am deeply moved to the core. I'm going to try to get through this. Stephanie gave me 5 minutes, and I want you to know that there's nothing in my culture, from the church I've come from, is done in 5 minutes. We don't even say amen in 5 minutes. First, I want to thank the young leaders of Northeast Indiana and this wonderful organization for this invaluable recognition. I'm incredibly honored to receive this award, this prestigious award. This man, Ian Rolland, is what we call an iconic leader who is the epitome of leadership. I want to thank my family members who are here. Are you here, family members? My sisters and brothers. Stand up so they can see you. I come from a family of 9 children, 5 sisters who ruled the world, 4 brothers who were considered as the minorities. To my friends here, to the Unity family members, all the Unity family members that are here, would you stand? Thank you for this moment of affirmation. On my journey from birth to the execution of unity, God, yes, God has been my divine guide. He has planted men on my path who have influenced and contributed to my life today. I want to start with the very first one who participated in the creation of my being, Reverend Jesse White, my father. I said he participated. And if you knew Pastor Jesse White, he was a powerful man, powerful dad, singer, preacher, pastor, boss. I worked for him for over 30 years. And that means even after coming out of my mother's womb, I was his employee. And he was my example of leadership for over 30 years. The next man is Vernon Henderson, who happened to be my musical mentor. He was the man who I met in 1971. You can move the slide. You want me to do it or you want to do it? Huh? Okay, go ahead. Vernon Henderson was a man I met in 1971 when I was about 12 years old, who inspired me, taught me how to understand music. He actually was my teacher, taught me choir directing, and he was also the person who recommended me to be the leader of the church choir in 1977 when I was about 17. He moved on and left Fort Wayne, came back to Fort Wayne about 2011. Last time I saw him was in 1980. He had never got a chance to experience me choir directing. He came to Fort Wayne. I invited him in 2011 at our 10th year anniversary. He watched me direct the choir for the first time. And as that mentor watched me, he said he's now complete. He's ready to leave here. And he passed away the next month. Left a legacy in my life. Lee Miles, the next music mentor, who is now, I met him in 1976. We are still close together. Today he's 77 years old. He lives in LA. We still talk all the time. The next man is Jim Markington. Jim Markington is a man I met in 1983. Stand up, Jim. He's in the room today. Jim recorded my church choir for the first time in 1983. He also challenged me to genuinely look at my gift and take it serious. He said he saw something so important in me. He told me I had a great gift, and I really needed to take it serious. He is still in my life today. He's on our board. He's played an incredible part of inspiring me to this point. The next man in my life is Chuck Shurak. Where are you, Chuck? There he is. I met Chuck in 1984. We were connected immediately. His musical genius in terms of his technology background and his affinity for musical technology. He introduced me to technology. He introduced me to computers, in which I was scared of. and he said, "You'll be all right." He taught me, and he also mentored me in the area of business management and development. I'm the business person today because of Chuck Chirac. Chuck spent weekends with me teaching me how to program and how to write scripts and code in FileMaker. And to this day, I run Unity Performing Arts on FileMaker. Thank you, Chuck. Mac McAllister is another man who played a part in my life. Met him in 1990. He was the marketing guru that I learned how to market from. He worked with me and my father for years. He taped Unity in our first years, and he also is still connected to me today. And he's in his 70s, and we still have conversation. He was at the concert last week. Dr. Jeff Tolles, I met in 1994, a famous surgeon who operated on Vernon Jordan, who was shot here in Fort Wayne. I don't know if you remember that, back in 1980. Dr. Tolles was my brother-in-law, and he also was a professional mentor that I learned a lot from. I learned how to not say, but do from Dr. Tolles. Dr. Rudy Cashman, another man, inspired my life. Between the gray, not the gray, but the cradle and Unity. Dr. Cashman, are you here? Dr. Cashman, I met in 2001, was my father's doctor. He was the man who prepared us for his death. My father passed away in 2001 after Dr. Cashman diagnosed him with cancer. And the final man I met, who really was an inspiration to me when I first got started into the nonprofit world, Mr. Ian Rolland. Mr. Rolland, I went to him in 1999, shared with him the vision, and when I finished talking, he said to me, "Wow, this is some type of organization. If anybody can pull this off, you can pull it off. What do you need from me?" He did not put it down. He did not say it couldn't be done. He did not say to me, "That's very ambitious of you." He affirmed the concept. And if anyone knows Ian Rolland, that's the kind of man he is. He supercharged me. And then he said, "What do you need?" I said, "Well, I need some money for stamps and envelopes." And he gave me a check for $2,000, my first donation. I will never forget. And finally, before I sit down, I just want you to meet someone who spoke into my ear one day, courage, who gave me the courage I needed to step out on something I could not see. My wife, Cindy. Stand. I never forget Cindy whispering in my ear in the early 90s, you're bigger than you know it. You have the courage. Go do it. And each year she has stood by my side and been a good cheerleader, and she's dealt with a whole lot of challenge. And I really want to say I love you and I thank you for that. Those of us, and after 2001, there were a host of men and women that I have become friends with who are inspiring me to this day. But those of us who are in the business and the occupation of pouring into children, we don't really need your approval for the work we do. We just need your affirmation. Every now and then, encouragement is important. You know, because what that does is fill our cups after we have depleted ourselves for so many days and years of pouring into someone else. I want to say to you guys, thank you tonight for filling my cup. Thank you tonight for giving me something that I can pour back into myself so that I can continue to pour into the weakest vessels of this earth. Fort Wayne, I love you, and I thank you. Amen.